Hi, I'm Matt Halpern, and I lead policy and enforcement operations for YouTube Trust and Safety globally.
And I'm Jenny Flannery O'Connor, and I lead the product management team for YouTube Trust and Safety globally.
We know many people have questions about our policies, so we wanted to take this opportunity to take you behind the scenes and walk you through our policy development process.
In a nutshell, our policies are rules that explain what you can and can't do on YouTube. We want YouTube to be a place where a wide variety of voices and perspectives can be heard, but at the same time, we want to protect our community from harmful content. So our community guidelines are there to make it clear what can stay on the site. Developing a policy is a much more complicated process than it seems at first glance. Take challenge videos, for example. So you've got a video with a challenge to walk around and complete a task with a blindfold on, which seems relatively safe and we should allow for that. But what if the person is in traffic? What if they're a child? Should that be allowed?
Or consider the use of offensive language against a particular group. It seems obvious at first we should have policies against it. However, we need to look at who is using these words and in what context. Some people might think it's fine for a specific group to reclaim a racial slur for themselves, but not others. We also have to think about how a reviewer can know whether or not it's appropriate for someone to use it. A lot of comedians use reclaimed language, but how can the reviewer know the comedian's religious beliefs or sexual orientation to decide whether that use is acceptable? So developing a policy is a nuanced process and not always cut and dried.
Well, that's our policy team, and they consult extensively with outside experts as well as creators themselves. We have over 100 people working on policy development, deployment, and enforcement consistency, made up of policy and enforcement specialists all over the world.
We also consult with outside experts, so we're tapping into a wide range of knowledge and experience. They can come from NGOs, law enforcement, academia, industry, policy organizations, from all sides of the political spectrum. For example, when we were updating our policy on harassment, we spoke to organizations that study online bullying, free speech proponents, and a range of policy organizations.
After we've met with outside experts, we often turn to our Creators in Residence program, where we listen to a global group of creators to understand how they experience the policy, or consider how a policy update might impact a creator in the future.
Once we have a new policy proposal, we start a 4-stage approval process where cross-functional senior executives inside YouTube each give different perspectives from different viewpoints. At any point in the process, if they feel a policy doesn't result in the best outcome for our users, it goes back to the drawing board. To make sure the new policy is clear, we test our reviewers to make sure they're enforcing it consistently. If that doesn't happen, we revise the training and internal guidelines to make them more clear, and then we repeat the process until we get it right.
So now you know how each policy is developed. You can explore the actual policies that make up our community guidelines on the How YouTube Works website.
It's a carefully considered process with an incredible amount of thought, research, expertise, and collaboration going into each and every policy. We have a responsibility to make sure YouTube continues to be a place where community, learning, and opportunity are able to thrive. So we're committed to getting our policies right for our creators and community.